Let me put the clickbait to bed now. I actually love Spain, but I recently read an article about living in Spain, and it was clearly written by someone who was bitter about the choices that they made. But it raised some great points, so I think we should talk about it. This gem of an article was published by Nick Anders on a website called Spain Made Simple. I'll link the full article below, but I took this opportunity to ask Nick about his article. So Nick, tell us about your experience in Spain.
I moved to Spain for a better life. I work harder in Spain than I ever did in the UK. I moved to Spain with savings of 15 grand. Now I've pretty much got nothing but the shirt on my back. I figured that with so many expats living in Spain, that there must be a bundle of potential new businesses and opportunities, or companies looking for staff, and I was so wrong. I soon found out that jobs and opportunities in Spain were few and far between, apart from the obvious ones. Fact, I hate cleaning villas. I hate cleaning pools. I hate working in bars until 2 AM waiting for the last drunken expat to leave. And I hate building work in the baking midday sun. I hate Spain.
Okay, well, here are my first questions. Do you hate cleaning blocks of flats? Do you hate cleaning gym changing rooms? Do you hate working in bars until 2 AM in the UK, waiting for the last local to leave? Do you hate building in the rain? If so, this is less about where and more about what you're doing. In fairness, the 2021 employment rate was around 15% in Spain compared to the UK's 4.5%, but there are business opportunities. However, like anywhere in the world, you need to be business savvy for it to be a viable business. Unfortunately, many expats use the fresh start of moving to Spain as a time to reinvent themselves, and when they make novice mistakes, their businesses suffer immensely for it. So what else? What else don't you like?
What don't I like? The word mañana. Like everyone else, I thought it was funny at first. Every person in Spain, whether Spanish or British, when they let me down, I would grin and say, mañana, like it was okay or normal. But when I'm paying for a job, I want it done as promised and on time. Am I mad for expecting that?
I agree with you on this one, mate. One of the things that I love about Spain is also one of the downsides. The whole mañana attitude is great and it can make for a much more relaxed day-to-day life. But being an ex-Royal Marine means I have several hangovers, and one of those is punctuality. If I go to a meeting, my goal is to get there 5 minutes early, not 20 minutes late. So you can have that one. That being said, I also love it. I love the relaxed outlook. I love the chill. Don't worry about it. It's part of Spain.
Yeah, well, what about customer service? What I hate in Spain is when I go into a shop and stand waiting while the assistant chats away to their friend or relative, totally ignoring me and everybody else. In this global economy, you just can't see the Spanish having a chance against the likes of the Americans, British or the Indian companies who are hungry and put the customer service first. There is no customer service in Spain. Much of the time, you're served when people feel like it, and you get little help and assistance, and often you're not even greeted at the counter. You greet them. It's like you're doing them a favour by shopping there.
If you're used to American customer service, where underpaid servers have to be nice to you so they can earn enough money to live, then you're going to be in for a shock when you're ignored, or it takes ages to place an order at a restaurant. Customer service in Spain isn't the country's best skill. Valid point.
I ain't getting anything done in Spain. Often I end up going to the local town hall and being sent from one department to another where I'm told conflicting advice. The paperwork and bureaucracy are horrendous. If you're coming to live in Spain, you better bring a photocopier.
This is a hangover from the times of Franco, but check out the Life Admin playlist to get your admin in order with less fuss. It's all about preparation.
Getting ripped off in Spain? I hate it. I hate the people prey on each other in Spain. Everyone seems so desperate that getting cheated is a story every expat I know can tell. I personally put 8 grand on a deposit down on an apartment and the estate agent did a runner with me cash.
Okay, this is very much an expat problem. Many people from the UK, as I said earlier, or other countries, see moving to Spain as a fresh start. And that often includes reinventing themselves in work, but a lot of the time they haven't had the training or experience to make them good at what they do. There are common stories of people paying for things and not receiving the service they were expecting. We fell prey to a Dutch fencer who left a job completely unfinished the moment he got his hands on the money. In fact, much of the time you're safer using a Spanish firm, but often the con is the language barrier. Whatever you choose, be careful and do your research like you would back at home. Make sure you don't pay for not receiving.
When I first moved to Spain, the currency was the peseta. The cost of living in Spain was low as most food and drink was cheap compared to Northern Europe. Then the euro came in and it seemed everyone took the opportunity to raise their prices. Typical. Now I think it could actually be possible. No, I'm sure it is, that Spain's cost of living is now higher than the UK. What do you think of that?
Nah, well, this one is factually incorrect. According to Nando, the overall average cost of living in Spain is 18.2% cheaper than in the UK as a whole. One major area contributing to this fact is rent, which is an average of 33.19% lower in Spain than it is in Britain.
Yeah, well, I wish I'd never moved to Spain. I urge anyone else thinking of Spain seriously to consider my story, especially the young families who I see writing on the expat forums, which I'm still in, about how they can't wait to move to Spain and how they're fed up with life in the United Kingdom. You don't realise how lucky you have it. Don't even think of moving to Spain if you have no money. It's not the cheap place to live that it used to be. The cost of living in Spain continues to match the UK levels.
Okay, you've got a single point that I agree with here. If you don't have money and you're struggling financially in the UK, then moving to any other country isn't cheap. And if you have no way of financially sustaining yourself, then finding a new job outside of burn work or cleaning can be difficult. If you're an entrepreneurial type of person, then I've successfully run 2 businesses from Spain, but investing your life savings on a beach bar can be a major disaster for those that haven't done the adequate research, just like any other startup.
If you're thinking about selling up and moving to Spain, then my advice is that if you really must try living in Spain, then don't sell your house in the UK. Don't burn all your bridges. Try live in Spain for 6 months or a year by renting a house for that length of time. Then you can truly decide and you can move back to the UK or wherever you came from originally without ruining your life. Sorry to sound so negative. Adios.
Yeah. Adios, Nick. And again, this is a sensible decision, especially if you're in a position where you can rent your own house out or even Airbnb it. You'll have a stream of income to tide you over for a period of time, so you can realise that Spain is a stunningly beautiful place to live. If you're thinking about retiring here, then you should definitely watch this video next. If you're thinking about what's involved when you get here, then check out the Life Admin playlist. And if you're thinking about moving to the countryside, then make sure you check out the 5 cons to living in the campo. Catch you next time, and thank you for subscribing.
It seemed everyone took the opportunity to raise their prices. Typical. Now, it's fucking ridiculous. In this global community, in this global economic bastard. Oh God, what the fuck am I doing? Then the euro came in and it seemed everyone took the opportunity to raise their prices. Typical. Typical. Now, Why can't I do that? How they're fed up with life in the UK, United Kingdom. Oh, their paperwork or bureaucracy are horrendous. And if you're coming to live in Spain, bring a photocopier. Oh, God. I'm sorry if you're in Northern, I apologise.